Let me scooch over to my drawing section. So, of course, you can work on whatever you want with whatever you want. And I did mention this will start with a dot grid. And let me share with you. I need to move this over. That's why it felt weird, because I have things organized in a certain way, and sometimes when I don't. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna share. Let me share first. This. All right. So, well, and I don't know which is worse. I mean, the dot grid, a dot, or an object grid, maybe we could call it, or a grid. But this is the amazing spider tangle. Somebody recommended it or said, "Hey, have you ever tried?" And I said, "Well," and I looked at him like going, "Oh, okay." And I don't remember exactly who. Rosie, I was thinking, for some reason, I was thinking that you had mentioned it. You don't have to take credit for it, though. It's really pretty, though. So let me share my screen while I do the other thing. And it is really pretty. It's not on there, though. It's right. Yeah. Yeah. There, bigger.
Oh, that is pretty.
Isn't that pretty? Okay, so it wasn't Rosie. Okay, so yeah, whoever wants to take credit for, I can go through the chats and verify.
I'm glad it doesn't look like a spider at all. I don't.
No, it doesn't look like a spider at all. So it's really, really pretty. And this way we'll share the inspiration first, right? So sometimes you have to put the carrot out, and then the work comes afterwards. All right. So, and unfortunately, I tell you what, I almost feel sometimes anxious isn't the right word, but it's like I clicked, she posted her pattern. Oh, here on Facebook, if you click on her links, they don't seem to work. But and let me see if I can. I'm going to post this. I don't know if you have to be on Facebook to see it or not. The link that she provided did not work, even though. Well, come on, oh, I have my fingers in the wrong place. You can see if you have there, because this is her step out. And let me make it bigger. And of course, because there's too many steps, I don't, oh, come on. Click my link again. And I'll just put it over here. There we go. What am I trying to do? Oh, I was trying to make it bigger, but then it won't let me move it the other way. So that's down. Okay. But there's too many steps for me, because it is kind of on the complicated side. And okay, Sandy, yeah, and I can't remember if I follow her as well. I just remember I saved the step out from somewhere, so I will have to. Yeah, okay. So and Sandy, well, and for tonight, I'll try to find a link if she has it on her Instagram and share it, and then we can follow her. But yeah, too many steps at one time, and it took a little bit to figure it out. So. Okay, good. Yeah, so ignore the Facebook link. But in true Heather fashion. Oh no, and I didn't. Okay, I was thinking I was gonna have to rearrange something, and I didn't. Okay. Oh, although I didn't finish putting the numbers on. So okay, and I have to. Yeah, it looks super easy. Right, exactly. Um, and hopefully this link works. This last one, because that's to mine. So again, starting off with a dot grid. Now, what I did, just so you know, is I started off, because I wasn't looking too far ahead, but I did a grid of 5, because I'm like, oh, there's a lot of dots on there, and I didn't count hers, and I just put dots. So I started off with 5 square. And I'm like, well, this is good, because that way you can see close up what this consists of. So what you want to do is you're going to pick a point to start. And then diagonal from that point. We're not putting a circle around that point, as you can see. Oh, I did. You know what? I'm sorry. I need to flip numbers 3 and 2. sometimes I do this and I change my mind and then I try to do it so that way I don't have to like redo the whole thing. But I will flip that. The later version will be correct and finished. So jump to number with the box 3 here. So you pick your point and then put 2 circles around the dots diagonal to that. And then we're going to do a curve line. This part is reminiscent of lots of things because we'll use the takeoff and land concept because you're going to go from the outside and you'll want to have total of at least, what did I say, 8 dots, so that way you get the full thing. Back there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Yeah. That way you get more of the thing. So what I ended up doing then later was I continued my 5 grid, but then I put dots in between. So I gave myself a little bit of a headache because I'm going, oh, I hate me. Okay, so let me finish the explanation. So if you just focus on the first 6 here. Okay, so then we're going to do a curve line from the outside of that orb to that dot that we've picked, right? Then they're all in order. So then from here, actually, I want to say it so it's not confusing because from here, you can go do the north, south, east, west on that and circle those 4 orbs. And then you're doing the same stroke. So coming from the outside, using takeoff and land, you're going to go around just a little bit of the outside of the orb and then down to that one point. So this creates the spider, if you will. And then you just continue on. So then these last ones, and then these ones you would actually do the curve line up to this dot. Showing it will help. So then we continue that on diagonally. Oh, they probably do. This is like a daddy long legs. There, we call it there. We call those spiders, even though they're not a spider. They just look like a spider. And then, like I said, and then you continue it down and up because this I started in the center. Then we flip it. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite, in the opposite direction. So on mine here, I picked one. So I picked the longest one coming out. And I honestly don't know if it matters. And the challenge that I had was picking, it's like, okay, this, and you're curving it down to the next dot. The challenge is that it's all on a diagonal. So I know that's clear as clear as mud. So I think it will help if we just do. But it turns out really good.
At that point, us doing it on a piece of paper, we can flip it around.
Yes. Yeah, and I would definitely turn the tile, and then you're doing the same thing. It's just you're going in the opposite direction. And then too,
Yeah.
you're using the orbs that you already have set for one side.
Do we make the dots in ink or pencil?
Yeah, or you could do it either way because then as you see, like in her finished, and this is somebody else. This isn't Hennie. But you see, well, she
She fills them in.
Filled them in. Yeah, but so here's the interesting thing as I was doing it is that if you notice the dots, it's kind of like you have dots and then we're not doing anything. Let me go back to here. To see one diagonal, this one, you were not circling them. So we're just going to those points. The other ones we are, and we're using that. If that makes sense. I guess I don't want to don't go and circle all of them.
Right, but
Because
I'm
it'll
just
mess
looking
things up.
at her the finished example.
Yeah.
She filled in some of them, but some of them are white, but you could just come back with the white pen
Right.
to cover up that dot if you wanted
Yep.
to do it like that.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And so yeah, whichever way you want, either in pencil or in pen. I was just gonna do it in pen because it's like it'll become part of it anyway. Because if you fill it in, the dot here is gonna become is just part of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So challenge on. All right. Let me stop the screen share and make sure that I have my step out up. Okay. And I decided I was going to use a Zendala so that way I could make it big. And you know what? And why don't I use? I'm going to use a 10 because I just want to press these in, and I'm shooting for the middle here, and I'm shooting also to make it bigger than I think. So I have one. How many did I say? I said 8. 1, 2. Oh, look at I made it small already. 3. Okay, if it's more than 8, it just needs to be at least 8, I think, so that way you get that full pattern. But you know what? Whatever ends up happening, it's all going to be good. And if you can't make a straight line with grits, it's all good.
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter. Oh, you know what? Mine's not. Oh, nothing really matters. I'm just going to go with it. However, I have it. Sometimes I will do like a line like this and a line straight up, so that way I can then, as I'm filling in the dots, I can usually see my. Okay, I'm the poster child for anybody can do this.
Well, with the circle, it's really harder. On this square, I divided it in half, and then divided that half in half, and then divided those halves in half, kind of evenly. I did
Right,
a border, and I did it on the border,
right.
which gives me a little bit of structure to go by, but not much.
Now, I might have to change my mind and do that. I'll finish this one later. What did you do? You divided. Wait, if you
But
divided
I'm
your.
working on a 6.5-inch square, so. And they're not really my
Well, I
squares are
might end
not
up with.
very square.
I might end up with 9 again. 1,
I think I have, wait, see, 1, 2, 3, 4,
2,
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I have 9.
4. Might have more. Oh no! See, I'm making a big mistake.
The grid, making the grid might be the hardest
That
part of this
yeah,
whole
that was
thing.
yeah. Because it was one of the things that's like I don't want to do it too small. And you know what?
Hey, it
Yeah,
doesn't look bad once you get it all done.
right, right. Because that's I shocked myself. So mine's not going to have 7. I'll be the experiment.
Others doing it the easy way with a big fat pen.
Yes, it
I
is.
did
It is
little tiny dots so I can, um, make them bigger, make them fill them in, whatever I want to
right.
do
Well,
later.
yeah, and I thought I'm going to use the 10. And yes, you know, I almost put a note in the Facebook post that said if you have dot paper, you might want to grab it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have
Okay,
6 on each
I
side.
have 6, so mine's gonna be weird, but it's okay. Not weird. It's just that you to get the full picture. I couldn't do it with 5. I knew that much. So we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna pick
Yours
this.
is not going to be centered.
Yeah, it's not gonna be centered. So, but we'll at least get the how to do it. So pick a dot to start, right, and then I'm gonna work to go slow. And whichever way it works for you, on the diagonal, we're going to put 2 orbs around those 2 dots. So this is our main dot. So it's kind
Are
of
you
like
going to keep working with the fat pen?
I was thinking I was, but it feels like it's too fat. Maybe I'm going to go down to the 5. Okay. And then we're doing the widest legs first. So from the outside, do it, take off on, so we're tracing over a little bit and making a little bit of a curve line to that dot. And then from the other side, same thing. And then, and see, I was working on it diagonally. So I was working at it like this is level. So then from that dot, we just radiate out to these next two going up. I'm going up. And, oops, curved line or straight line, it doesn't matter. And then you can radiate down to those bottom two also. Because when I was looking at it, because when it just starts with this shape, like that doesn't help me know how to do it. And that's kind of in my opinion, part of the idea of step outs is so that we can figure out how to do it. And so, yeah, taking it apart. So this is the structure that we're going to just keep repeating. So if you stay focused on, okay, here's the center dot. So looking at it this way, all of these are going to become center dots. So, and we'll go down to the next one to make it easy. So then, and even though I started with the wide ones, because I just felt that was easiest. Looking at this, these two now become the top. So same idea, curve line from the outside of each of those, the new dot. And if I am losing anybody, let me know. Because I have another one that I can start. Felicity,
Right,
oh
Andy?
no. So again, this is just, pick a center dot so that you're going to work on the dot grid on the angle. Maybe that's a good way to explain it. So it's like we made the dot grid this way, but then when we're working on it, we're putting it on an angle, so then it looks like it's all shifted. Okay, Zelda. Yeah, and so and yeah, good.
So each one you do, you already have some of it done.
Right. Yeah, once you get that first one done, and again, that's what I was thinking. If we focus on, here's that center point, and then looking diagonal, and I just found it easier. Okay, I'm going to go to the farthest two first. And you know what? Maybe it's easier. And so I'll offer the suggestion, and maybe Felicity, maybe this will help. Where you pick that center point to start, and then going up diagonally, circle two of the orbs or two of the dots, and then come down the curve line to that center dot. And then that way you could work from the top out. Maybe that's it. Oh, Alyssa, she's already done. Okay. Well, I'm glad you joined us for this long. And you do get into a rhythm, as she said. You do get into the rhythm once you get one.
What's going to be interesting is when we go the other
Right,
direction.
the other direction. But half of it is already done. And I think the other key is drawing your curve line coming from the outside rather than just because when I first did it, I was like, oh, and I just, I went from the orb. And Luna says to our new folks, it isn't always this challenging. And yeah, I like it. Think of it this way: if you get through it today, you can master anything else we do. Absolutely. Every once in a while, I got to throw a truly tough Tangle Tuesday in there.
Okay, now I'm going to have a hard. I mean, I finished it to my last dot, but now
Right.
I'm going to wait and watch you. How do we
Okay. So
going up?
then, yep. And the other thing, let's see. That's right, Annie. If you learn one thing from this exercise, you can consider it a success. Absolutely. So then
Okay,
going
I
up,
think
because
okay,
I had a challenge myself. So, and oh, it just made me think of something maybe. Um, and then looking at the shapes that we've already created. So here, when we're going up, this is your new center point, right? So this then becomes the bottom of the spider. And I'm just thinking now, well, let me we need here. We need to have. I'm trying to think how much of a grid do I need to have? You know, and it's um. Okay. You know, while I'm doing this, if I've lost anyone, I'm starting over here on the back of this Zendala, and I just did because I just want to do that one, the initial or the base shape that we're creating. So here's my main point here, and then is that I did it this way, but then we're shifting it, so we're working on the diagonal. So curve line, and I'm starting from the outermost points first because that's how my brain works. Maybe it would help, if you started up, up above. I just don't. That's the part I don't know. If you think that that works better starting out, but you know that we're doing 6 points coming into each of those center dots. Okay, so that's our base. So when we go up, this is our new center point, and it's just we have these orbs are already done, so we're just doing a curve line to that dot from
I
both
think I'll
sides.
just make one row and forget it.
That yes, I understand. Oh no, it's a deep breaths. We should do this and think. Okay, everyone take a breath. It's all good. There's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. Truly, there isn't. You might end up with something really neat.
Oh, I think I'm seeing it now, but maybe
Are you
not.
seeing
I
it?
think I mean, for the second row.
Okay. All right. It's all good. I see several people are typing. So I'm turning the tile. Although sometimes when it says several people are typing, I have found that it lies sometimes because I've seen it says so and so is typing, but they've left already. Yep. Let me show the app. So here's this one. So this is the spider. Oh, and Roberta says tried highlighting the center dot and worked outwards. That's a good way. That's a good way to think about it. I didn't want to because it stays kind of part of the pattern. Not big, but yeah. So that's a good idea, Roberta. And honestly, you could do that with pencil, and it will. We'll do a pattern over it. Okay, sure thing, Sharmila. Okay, so flipping it, just turn your tangle, and
Oh, you have only one. Oh,
oh,
no,
I'll do
go
it over
ahead.
here. Yeah, yeah, because over here it's not. That's why, like, I knew it wasn't gonna work out right. So yeah, so I'm looking at it on the diagonal. I think that my challenge has been not looking at it that way. So holding it diagonal. So then all of these are going to be part of the next row. So taking from here, and this is going to be my new center point. So then I have the one half. And then it's like, oh, okay. Well, right across from there is the other half of it. And forgive me, I'm turning my tile so I can do my curve line nice. And then that. And if you get into the groove of it, doing it this way, then it's a little easier. But at least this one is like, okay, well, here's the next other half. This is the long part, and you
Okay,
bring that
well
in.
that makes sense.
Yep, and Deborah asked if you take off and land from one direction or opposite.
Depends on which way you're going.
Yeah. Well, I'm still taking off and landing because I want to come from the outside of the orb. Then here, and then just sort of make sure to do the other half. I found it just to do both halves at the same time, and then here again, that's my dot.
Except that some of them will. Well, maybe I'm not doing it right.
Hmm.
I will keep my mouth
No, you're.
closed for a minute or two.
Oh, wait. I
Oh, I know what I
wonder.
did wrong. Mine are all going to be going in the same direction.
Oh, that yes. Well, you could just flip it and do it the other direction, and it'll make seed shapes.
No, I know what I'll do. Because I had my
Yeah, because you have to. Yeah, and if you flip your tile upside down, 100. What is that? 180 degrees.
I
Then
had it that way, and then I moved it back. That was my
oh,
problem. Okay,
and yet
no,
Zelda says it's like Huggins. It is like Huggins.
I
It's
noticed
kind of
that
like
right away that it really looked like Huggins.
yeah, yeah, or kind of like a. It's like half Huggins and half. I don't know what we would call that shape.
Because I noticed right away that what it was wrong was because my takeoff and land were crossing each other,
Oh, okay.
and they weren't on
Yeah,
yours.
and the thing, yeah, very crazy Huggins. Yeah, right, Roberta. Um, yeah, and the thing that I kept in my head, I kept like, oh yeah, that's right. When you're going up, it's like, oh, this creates a dome, and so I kept having to think of that in my head because it's like, oh, and then it can end there. This is, or maybe this is beyond crazy Huggins because it's really kind of a half Huggins because we're only doing we only have dots in certain places. Sammy says this is flipping nothing like Huggins. This is torture. Yes, this is tough Tangle Tuesday torture version. Yes,
She said you'd have to earn your shirt,
I did.
and we're not sending out shirts.
No, no, but we yeah we have a plan for how you can make your own, and
Okay.
it all stems from Sandy making that graphic with the shirt. And yes, and Lou said just breathe. It's all good. It's all good. And then maybe I will start on the other one so that way because that way if it yeah, it helps because part of this whole thing is to you know explore, give ourselves a besides give ourselves a challenge because that's not the aim. It's just like oh look at how beautiful that is, and then to do it. All right, so let's see. So um oh no, well Tony, yeah. So well I'll share it now. So uh, what I'm gonna do is so mom printed this out. If you have access to a laser printer, and if you don't have if you don't have access if you don't have one, some like office stores or someplace might if you could find somebody to print it out for you. So I'm gonna send out uh, um, with I'm gonna have to get the recap done quickly. Even if I don't, I could just email this to you. And so mom had done it and we have a program that it makes it in reverse. And so you print out the reverse, and I have it here somewhere, and then you iron it on a shirt because laser printers, it's like a plasticky substance because I can use that for crafts and things, and you like remelt it and you can put like foil and stuff on it. It's really cool. And so then you can make your own t-shirt. All right.
Like I said, mine was on an old T-shirt that I had Zentangled already. So it doesn't need to be absolutely plain, or you can wear it backwards.
Right. All right. So sandy. I'm trying to think. So I'm trying to think. So for those, if you are stuck, I want to figure out how I can start a new one. Just want to figure out how I can help. Oh, and maybe I also come up with some ideas on a different way to explain it. For first group is always hmm, hmm. This one would go to a different one. I'm talking to myself. I'm going to have some empty dots here. Oh, nope. This is a center. Oh, this would be a long one. This would be the other half of that. And I'm looking at my little thing. Okay, let's see. Okay, so finish my little dot grid over here. Different size dots. Oh no, that won't look good. Okay. Okay, so Deborah's asking. Jen says, but it's more fun than the DMV, I assure you. Yes, yes. All right, let me finish some dots here. And yeah, I was going to grab the original one I was using, but I didn't. Okay. Oh, and I have one in the center because I put one in the center. Okay. Oh, want me to do one with just 6 dots? Okay. Oh, here. All right. Well, actually, it would have to be 9. So I'm going to put 1. And I do these. Okay. Well, and then that one side is just, ugh. All right. So I have essentially, so I have 9 dots. Yeah. And now there's 9 dots. Yeah. All right. So picking, you know what? And let's do this. Let's do this too. Okay. I'm putting arrows. This is our center dot. So that this is where our focus is. Okay. And partly wondering if I'm throwing it off by starting with the longer one. That's what I saw first. Let me just try it a different way. We'll see if it clicks. Okay, so here's your center dot. I'm not going to do what I have on the step out. I'm going to do it different. So your center dot, you're going to have curved lines coming from the 6 dots around it. So this row is all center dots. Here's that. And if it helps, you could do it this way. Oh, Penny got confused when I turned the tile. Okay. So you see it's hard to draw or hard to make a grid where it's offset like that. But let me do you know what though? Okay. Let me just leave the tile there as a square. Let's try that. So you still have your center dot. And this is where doing the longer ones is better. So from your center dot, go diagonal, ignore these two. Go diagonal from that center, put the orbs around it, and then from the outside, a curved line hitting that center dot from one side. And then from the opposite one as well. So again, you're going from the outside of the orb. Oh, and so Klaus says the circles go one down, one right. And I'm not following. That's okay. But you know what? If you find a mantra that works for you, do it.
Yes. You have to
Okay.
everybody has to find you can sort of have to find your own method.
Yeah. So Rosie and so does that make sense so far? So I'm leaving it, and Patty, I'm leaving it here, squared. So and just we're working on the diagonal, and then from that dot up. Yes, and this is where it's kind of like north, south, east, west. You're looking at it square, and then putting the circles on those, and then bringing those curved lines in like that. All right, then thumbs up or tell me that I'm good. All right, I got a thumbs up. Woo! All right, and I got a smiley face from Rosie. And then, you know what? Let me do this. Let me do this in the red. So then your next one, right? This is just going in the row. Your next one. Okay, Shamil says excellent. Yay. We're continuing. So if you're and this is why I drew this one here, because it's like, okay, that's your base, and then this wait. We're working on the diagonal again because I said I was going to leave this way. This next dot diagonal from this, the one we just used, is going to be the next center. So these orbs are this are this one. And Lou says doing the circles first and then the lines, because you could, here's your center dot, and you could surround it. The only caution is you want to avoid these that are in the diagonal that will come the new center points. That's the challenge. And then this one, when you're going up, well, you might miss the dot like I just did. That's okay. Because I'm drawing it awkwardly.
It really gets confusing when you go in the other direction.
Yeah. And then,
When you switch it again, you just kind of have to look closely at what you already did. And I'm
right.
not sure about finishing off a lot of these that are around the edge, but I think I'm going to uh, do some decoration or something on the patterns that I can see. Now
Yeah.
I'm looking where.
Yeah. Because, like,
Put the thing in again, Heather, would you?
yeah.
Put the your print
Yeah.
or her finished one or the something
Yeah.
in.
I'll put that in the chat, and then I'll share it as well. Yeah. So what you can do is start with these fan shapes.
Oh.
And see, and so on the fan shapes, draw a straight line up. If we're gonna, you can decorate it however you want. You could just color them in. or whatever. But yeah, so so I would start there with those fan shapes.
Good idea.
No, Joe says he surrenders. No. All right. All right. So Joe, where did you get lost? Do you even know? That's the hard part. I don't know where I got lost. I just got lost. See, and what I like to do with this is I'm just going to draw straight lines. And how many did she do? It doesn't matter how many she did. I'm just going to make big ones. Divide it in half, and half again, and I will wait. Let's see. Oh, Charlemagne says, "Where didn't I get lost?" No, this one is just an hour. But although this one probably should have thought about it.
Well, I mean, I got
Actually,
the pattern down, but mine's awfully wonky looking. I mean,
but
I have
yeah,
some of those, I'm sure it'll look much better once I get it all filled in.
yeah, yeah. I found myself focusing on as I was doing it, focusing. Oh, there's that. This fan shape, and that seemed to help because the others, this like it's like we have a row of crazy Huggins, and then we have these neat fan shapes.
And see, some of my Huggins kind of shapes are so skinny, um, they hardly matter, but that's okay. Try to, yes, this is going to help. You all can
Well,
do it. We have great faith in you. Even if you only get one going down the middle, that's what I did at first.
well,
And
there we go. Yeah, it could be just that. No, Rosie, it does not have to be 9 dots. Actually, as I proved here, this one, what did I have? 6. The reason I said 9, as our Steph says, we'll have plenty of tiles for our next transcending class. Yes, we will. Maybe, hopefully not.
if you do 9, you get the even pattern all the way out to both
Yeah,
sides.
yeah, and that's why I had
But
said, yeah.
yeah, I'm like I say, mine's on a 6.5 inch, 6-inch square, so I have plenty of room to space them out. I don't know if I'd want to do 9 on a regular tile. Do you have 9, Heather? No,
I
how
have
many?
I have 6 on this one,
6. Okay.
but and I think that was it. Was just like, yeah, to get more of the full pattern. But
Keep
yeah,
this in mind. You don't ever have to do this pattern again if you don't want
that's
to.
true. That is true. We can say, yep, nope, not doing that one again. I can been there, done that, and maybe got the T-shirt. But even though you have to get your own T-shirt and make it, but still, oh wait, no, been there, done that, made the T-shirts. And then sometimes too is it there uh, I might just be weird. Yeah, well I am. So it's like, ooh, that looks like a challenge, and there's something about that that's like, ooh, that's it's fun to be able to figure it out. And even if you figure out that you're never doing it again, as who said it? If you learn one thing from this, it'll be a success, and that might be it. That I'm never doing that one again. But what's neat though, looking at just because you have and when you fill in the outsides, I mean, because she did aura-ing in those these Huggins shapes. It's the same thing. You don't have to do that. You could just leave it. Maybe just shade them, which we didn't even get to any of that. You have to be a part 2. You know what too? Actually, I was just thinking you don't necessarily when I'll send out the thing that, the I survived, because there if you go to and maybe I'm sure craft stores, but office supplies I think might as well, um, where you can make your own iron-ons, and if you can run things through an inkjet printer. The neat thing about and if you did that, you could then go over it with like an Identi-Pen or something that's a permanent marker or a fabric marker, and have a lot of fun with that. So we're gonna have a
Yeah,
lot of yeah,
I
same.
had to trace over mine. It didn't iron on real dark.
Okay, yeah.
By doing, the reverse one. I had to retrace the whole thing.
So if nothing else, if you've never tried that before, you'll have at least learned how you can make your own T-shirt. Oh, Joe says you start with too small of a tile for a 9-dot grid. I'll be back with a larger tile, 3 feet by 3 feet. That will help, Joe. That will help. And um, maybe not worrying about the size of the grid. Oh, Inez, I'm sorry. She's not doing this one again. It's making her bracer.
Well,
It's the
just
new neural.
decorate what you got left. Just
Yeah,
decorate it.
yeah. And two, and if you wanted to, you could just connect any of the open ends with curved lines. It's all good. Yeah, with the 5 dot, it because on my step out, that's what I started with, and it was just like, oh well, you don't get the other, the other effect, the doing it upside down, uh, type of thing. And so, this is, so it's an exercise because I can be the queen of silver linings. Um, in okay, we found one that we don't like, and or not that we don't like, it's just a bit on the extreme side of challenge. Um,
This
but
makes up for that one time that you thought it was really a tough tangle and everybody thought it was easy.
right, see, here,
It's
there
called
we go.
Heather's Revenge.
Or I think, oh yeah, this would be fun to do. Yeah. But so sometimes it's yeah, it's because it's fun to find one that, like Luda says, I'm gonna get it. I'm not gonna be bested by a tangle. That's yeah. I'm not gonna be beaten by a tangle. No way. Um, yeah, and it definitely takes several times and playing, and then finding that the mantra in your head is like, okay, center down, this, or the what to look for. Like I said, I was looking for the fan shape. So as I got lost, it's like, okay, oh, there's that. Oh, that I need to make that fan shape on top, and then keep going, and that seemed to help me. So we'll see what everybody came up with in this short amount of time.
Is this only an hour?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And Roberta said, yeah, and if you have, graph or dotted paper, and you can do a search for like dotted paper and you can print it out. Um, and and that will be good. You do, and I think this is one too that, like a lot of, Thomas Padro's one, once you get it, you kind of get it. You might have to always look at the step outs, which, you know,
There's a
um,
lot of them that I always have to look at the step outs.
yeah,
And you don't
yeah,
even really have to look if you can find just graph paper with squares
you could do that. Yeah,
and then, emphasize your just to learn how to do it. Um that would work.
yeah, yeah. Oh, all right. So it is share time, and and share what you have so far, and it's all good. I'm good. Mine is not, and two. I also didn't remind us that it's about exploring tangles. It doesn't have to be a completed, beautiful work. It's just you know, whatever we end up doing. Oh, but look at how nice these are.
This is one of those times you
How
remind
nice.
everybody it's the journey,
That's right.
not the destination. It's the
And then
journey.
everybody starts grabbing their shovels. Oh. Oh, Leslie, I will have to check on that. Oh, but look at it.
I gotta finish this one stripe down the middle, and that's it. I
Oh, all right. Well, so far I
see
don't have
lots
two
of
pages.
successes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at
Oh,
Rosemary's.
wait, I have to find it. Oh, we do have two pages. It looks like. Oh my god. Oh, and Karen's. Okay. We'll gush in a second. Oh, so cool. All right. Oh, and it keeps shifting.
All right, who's She
Keep your
Dragon?
keep your webpage. She dragon is she dragon. I know she dragons always put she dragon. She's
Looks like
totally incognito.
I was trying to read her.
Was
She's oh.
okay. All
Anyway,
right.
look at all the color and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it keeps shifting. I don't know if people are coming or going. Hold them steady. Grab it now. Some of them are just going to be blurry, and it's just because it's just the way it is. Fortunately. Right. Let me get the page two. Oops. And Tony, that's really funny. All right. I got them all. I do believe. Let me save this. Uh, and we'll see. I'm going to have two people on tonight. It'll be me and Mom.
No, no, I'm coming back for a retraining.
Okay. Oh, let me save this. What was this? This is Spider. And let me get the second one. And then we'll turn off our cams and we'll share new paste. Boy, oh boy, I tell you what, sometimes say. All right, and anyone on the Facebook group, don't warn them. Don't warn those that don't know to say, oh my gosh, this was the greatest thing ever.
I don't know. Joyce was already nervous yesterday about today, but she's not
Oh,
on this morning, so
oh,
at
all
least she
right.
wasn't.
All right, so let me share and saying Kathy and Linda will turn off your cams and mine too. Oh no, I didn't want to end that. I wanted to. I did the wrong thing. Off mine, and I will get Lindy's there. I got it. All right. She was involved in the zone. So I'm with you, Mom. I see lots of successes.
Yeah, I, for all the complaints we were hearing.
Yeah, I like it. Nice. Yeah, it's like Tony's his flatfish. You know, and that's the other thing. It's like if you don't like it, it's kind of like the when life gives you lemons, make lemonade type of thing. Um, it's like, well, I'm just going to come up with something else, and that's fine, and that's fun. Yeah, I love all those. Yeah, all those colors. Yeah, doing. You know what? And maybe it's. I did not do this in different colors, but maybe that helped. And shooting if that helped, if that was why you started doing it with the colors, if that helped, let me know. I can try that tonight. And I'll say, yeah, these are just great. Oh, see, yeah, Toronto. Toronto. Oh, it's using grid paper, but putting dots in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. Just regular grid paper and just make dots where you need them.
Yeah.
And some of it, the graph paper, you can get the kind that the blue lines don't show if you print it.
Right.
So then you could print it out and the blue lines wouldn't show behind, and everybody would think, oh my gosh, how did they get those
Oh,
dots so perfect? But
let me.
Felicity looks perfect. Her dots look
And then I'm gonna go
really
back
good.
to. I'm gonna go back to Zelda's. Yeah, look at that. It's just one of those that might not be enjoyable, and that's sometimes some of them are like, I'm just gonna do this. It's like climbing Mount Everest. I mean, although some people I suppose want to do that. Okay, Inez, you can always come and join us and just do something completely different. Oh, but I like what you did though, Inez. I like it. Yeah, and Lindy adding like the color in there. Yeah, that's definitely a help. I'm just looking. These are nice. Yeah, and rosemary, that's awesome. And let's see, and that's 1, 2, 3. That's 4. Yeah, so you could do it bigger and just do less, and just have it run off like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very happy with my one stripe right down the middle of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then I'd have all those other dots floating around. But Karen Maxey did the same thing. She has, a few going down, and then which is very pretty. I like
Yeah.
that.
And Mel, did you do that on napkins? It looks like napkins because it's see-through. Oh, these are great. Well, this was definitely a tough Tangle Tuesday. And Sandy, who said she didn't get it, look at how gorgeous that is. And then she's starting on the shading that's making those things pop out. Are you using your new pencils? Your husband is amazing, by the way. Buy you those pencils.
What new kind of pencils? Did we not
No,
hear about?
no. She posted. She got a 150 set of Prismacolor.
Oh, the big set.
Yeah, and I like. Yeah, and I'm just looking at Karen's. I like what some of it is just coming up with something creative. Okay, I'm going to salvage this one way or another. I want to flip back to because Klaus said on looking at Zelda's. Okay, Roberto, the bug man is here. He gets rid of your bugs. Oh, Alyssa, yeah. There was a bit. Let's see. And let's see. Okay, on Zelda's, you see the black dots pattern. Oh, yeah, kind of like the pattern well. I think I'm following you now. So, like, if you're thinking of the pattern well, and you look at a dot, and one goes to the right and one goes down. Although I see some that have 3, but they're all going to have 3. But I see what you mean now. Well, and we're going to say goodbye to the recording.